Got that back, baby. Let's get some boom, baby, boom. Let's get that boom, baby, boom. Boom, baby, boom. Rise and shine. Grab that light. Bring it into your life. It's your morning motivation time. I'm your host with the mostest, Marky Saint. This is my daily walk. This is the morning motivation. And this is how I start my day. Straight up. Get my day started. Come out here for a walk. Nice green grass. I come out here, I chill. The sun's still going. It's about a good 90 degrees out. I got my tri-blend shirt, so it's a little hot. This one's a little bit faded, but it had a skull on it because I printed it. Skulls on shirts, beards on shirts, men's workout tanks. Got to flex on them. I feel tight like a tiger. It's all this walking, man, and stretching. It feels so good. It's not even the workouts. I'm telling you now, it's not like I'm 3 sets of 10, do 100 burpees. Nah, dude, I'm literally just hanging from the jungle gym, just hanging and let the lower disc separate my back, just stretching, just flexing, just holding the bar just to get that pump. You see that? That's that pump, just to strengthen my core and my muscles and my mind. And that's what we're talking about this time. We're going to talk about strength and conditioning, because that's something I had to learn. That is literally something I am still learning and learning about, was my addiction to anger. And yesterday I had a really deep conversation with a friend who he said he blacked out angrily and started to beat on his dog. And as much embarrassing as that sounds, or a shame, or whatever else we'd like to cast the stone at him and his story, how many of us have done it? How many of us has blacked out angry, did something that we regret, and we're just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And this dog's just like shaking, like, please don't kill me. And you're just like, that wasn't me. That was the snapped out version of me, the blacked out version of me. It will never happen again. And after doing some studying, that's so cute. Old man and his dog, too cute. Do some studying and know that, like Robert Greene is saying, 3 or 4 more times, we have patterns of characteristics. We are our character. And unknowingly, with our subconsciousness or our actions, we are performing our character all the time. The world is the stage and everybody's playing their part. Right, Mr. Clean Man? We are all playing on this stage with a mask, pretending not to be the human inside. We're pulling a Will Smith, 30 years of pretending to be a perfect human being. You can't fake it for long. You're going to actually have to make it. I think we're going to have to do a makeover fake shirt. You got to make it before you fake it, You really got to make yourself do the change. That's the thing. If nothing changes, nothing changes. And everybody wants some change, but they don't want to change. I've been addicted to anger my whole life. I didn't know. I did not know that it was an addiction. I swear for God, I did not know it was in me like that till this last lesson. And in my worst reactions ever, which boggles my mind because I live a really quiet life. Like I told people, I live a really cool and quiet life. I don't have a lot of people around me. When I choose to be social, I'm around a lot of people. I don't know if you guys force yourself to do something social, but for the most part, I'm pretty quiet. I'm in my computer designing, and not a lot of phone calls. Unless it's business and, things like that. I keep a pretty cool, low profile. And this time I'm sitting there and I go, why couldn't I have been quiet the day I was angry? Why couldn't I be calm, being calm, C-A-L-M, calm? Why couldn't I have been calm? What about her before I blacked out angrily? I remember all of it, most of it, but like right before I started yelling, a little bit of a blackout scenario where I don't know what she did to piss me off. I remember I wanted her out of the car. I wanted to go back to where we were sitting and fix the topic like adults. And instead, now I'm yelling at someone in a public parking lot, enough so where a stranger came by and go, "You guys need some help?" And I was like, "Nah, man, we're just arguing." But that's embarrassing. It's embarrassing that that's not even my first time having strangers intervene with situations. I'll tell you another one, just so I can admit my anger. I think it's cathartic and it helps other people because, it's easy to put it on my friend and go, "Oh, he was angry. He was beating on his dog. Dog peed inside or something. And he teed off on the dog," right? Like, whatever in that scenario triggered him, it happened. And this is what happened. We're in Sunset Boulevard, about 2005, and my buddy's with his wife. And I don't remember how she teed off, but I do remember that she left the pizza joint with my keys in my car. And I end up on top of her. It's a true story. Holding her down on the ground because she's freaking the fuck out. And I said, "You need to stop. You're going to hurt yourself and others. Relax. We're waiting for help." And of course, some strangers came and they thought I was like trying to rape her or something. And I'm like, no, she's just going on a crazy one. If you want to go off with these strangers, by all means, go ahead. And that's not really cool because this is my buddy's wife. I guess I don't have to use names, but it's a pretty big thing when your buddies ends up on top of your wife. And it's not like it's something that I wanted. I didn't want her yelling. I didn't want her throwing keys, and I definitely didn't want her driving her way in my car. But I definitely didn't want her hitting me and swinging, and we had to subdue her because of her anger. Now, did it help that she had to be mounted and put down flat on her back and held for a little bit? Probably not. Not my best decision, not my best work. But I'm also telling you that I have to identify the way I handle conflict. I had to identify my anger. Like somewhere back here where I can't reach is a switch, and I have trouble turning it off. That's what the addiction looks like. That's what it feels like. That's exactly what it's like. I mean, I don't know a lot of people that get to walk away unscathed when their emotions are running high, but I'm not going to lie. Not on this show. There's no healing in lying. With the more I dig into psychology, my psych degree, learning more about, from influencers and authors, and I've been digging deep. It turns out that someone that didn't have control in their childhood tends to seek it in their adulthood. And I could blame a lot of situations, like everyone else, on their parents and divorces and whatever else happened. But I'm an adult now. I'm 42 years old. The year is 2022. And I have to see and react with a certain speed. I'd like to see with these glasses, rosy-eyed. I'd like to see people in their best elements. I'd like to see them as a fellow human. I'd love to feel empathy and connect with them. That is not what happened. I rarely have empathy for people. It's just not in me. Maybe it's the way I was raised. For perfectionist, it's never good enough. Mediocre won't cut it, and my mom will tell you that right to your face. That was me. Desiring perfect and complaining that it's not. How many of us are in the fast food line, or we're mad because our latte didn't come with sugary cream, or look at this big ass fucking sweeper, bro. This motherfucker up in here, and all the cars are off the road. Like, how fucking funny is that? This is what happens when you live in a nice area. They'll actually come clean the streets. That does not happen on the east side or north side. You know what I'm saying? LVOG, baby, LVOG. So anyway, besides for the ritzy, there's the dirty. And the shame of it is what's stopping me from healing. I never had a conversation with a psychologist about my childhood. I heard my brother has. I mean, he's processed it way different than me. And my growing up, this led me to addictions. I easily became an alcoholic because of my father at a young age. Like, alcohol was pervasive in my growing up. It was everywhere. We could steal alcohol and nobody would notice. You know what I mean? We could throw parties and nobody would notice. A lot of bad behavior was going on, and I was learning it. You know, my dad might have had, what was it, 3 girls at the barbecue at the same time, and I was his patsy. I don't know if you know what a patsy is, but it's almost like the guy you can put things on, the responsibility, you know. This is before cell phones, by the way, and phone would ring. I had to take a message and keep track of the message that I gave, you know. Oh, he's at, you know, I'm covering for my dad's lies. Oh, he's at the grocery store. What'd you tell Cindy? Oh, I told her you were at the grocery store. What'd you tell Amber? I told her that you were at blah, blah, blah. You were at a baseball game with us. Oh, is that a hummingbird? Oh my God, it's a hummingbird. That is absolutely gorgeous. Oh, did you just see that pass by? Oh, did you see them pass by? Oh my Lord. Oh my heart. Oh my God, there's a dragonfly too. Those things just came by me. Look at these hummingbirds. Oh my Lanta. Oh, it was like Narnia. I'm touching my heart. Oh my God. I wish I could get touched by more than just nature. Isn't that so amazing that the parks give us reprieve, that they give us peace of mind? They just sit here with grass, but us sitting here keeps the grass out of our mind. It's so interesting that parks are like this. I'm always so surprised that I'm the only one out here, but I really believe like gyms, parks, and hikes are the mental health that we need. You know, you can be trapped in the concrete jungle of the city, and all you really need is sit under a tree. That's all of us. You know, we need those moments to have clarity. I was under so much pressure trying to have this baby, I didn't get much time to process it. Matter of fact, within 2 days, I fucked it up. And coming all the way from South America, being sicker than a fucking dog, it did not matter. I was still supposed to have control over my anger. And listening to my friend, and we talk about it often because both of us have anger issues, and I've talked to one of my friends. It's like, I said, can I ask you a question? And he said, yeah. And I said, did you black out when you knocked that dude out? And this is my buddy, and he hurt his hand when he popped this dude. I'll tell you the quick story. He's working at 7-Eleven. Home dude said, I hit a jackpot. Over here, we let you gamble inside the convenience stores. And he paid him out, $1,300. Then another guy comes up and goes, where's my money? And he goes, what? And the other guy's in the back, yeah, give me all that money. He's counting it out. And he goes, wait a minute, you're not the guy that earned the money. It pisses him off. Home dude's outside talking shit. You're nothing but a bitch. Bow. Smacks him in the face. Takes the money out of his pocket, gives it back to homeboy. Homeboy's sweating him too. He's like, bro, you're looking like you're gonna fight me. Anyway, longer story short is, somewhere between there, I asked him, did you black out? He's like, I did. Something about the guy being on the ground, and he starts palm slapping him 24 different times, gets a piece of his tooth stuck in his hand. He was so angry that he hit him every fucking word. Has anybody been that angry? Yeah. I'm gonna keep it real, you know? And to end up with someone's incisor in your hand, you know you're probably hit a little too hard and you lost it a little bit. And that's exactly what happened with my friend. He was looking at some prison time. He actually had to be on probation, and he was looking at an assault charge because the guy ended up getting his leg broke, bro. And his femur snap, boom. Now, I don't know if that was from my friend smacking him in the face or not, or all the other people that jumped on him afterwards. But my point is that to be that blacked out, to be that angry, to lose that kind of self-control is within us all. I don't give a fuck who you are, how big of a mask you wear, or whatever is going on. We all have a Will Smith moment inside of us. I think that was the shocking thing. It was like, oh my God, we're at church. We're not supposed to be that way. Matters not. We are that way. Or at least I believe so. You know, there might be people that are more well-adjusted than me, right? They grew up with parents that were listening and understanding, and they process things together. Me, I grew up in an environment where people swung on each other. like legitly. And it's not my pride. It's very embarrassing to say. I still remember my dad choking my mom out on the couch and being on the phone with 911. I still remember saying, or hearing them say, does he have a weapon? I didn't even process that my dad was a weapon, okay? Like, I just knew it wasn't right, and he was very angry. Now, I don't know what my mom said to him to make him that angry. I don't know what was going on for that shit to go down. I'm not an adult, but as an adult, guess who seeks control? Guess who was desperate for control in a situation where I had none? Zero. And I mean, we could talk about fathers' rights. We could talk about actions and responsibilities and repercussions. We can talk about that. But unless we understand it, unless we understand the trauma, that's how we move forward. You know, a lot of us are still holding scars we don't even see. You know, everybody talks about something going on with someone you don't see, a battle inside of them that you don't see. And yeah, I didn't see it, you know, but what I do see now is the same childhood memory being relived inside me. I talked about it yesterday. We date our unfinished business. I'm over here trying to save single moms with issues, mental issues, like I'm trying to save my mom, who was a single mom with mental issues. I don't get it. You know, I'm a pretty rational human being. I have a psych degree. You think I would know about these things? You think I'd be more clever and adjust? But I'm emotional too. I got up from my seat, told you to stop talking about my wife, and I slapped Chris Rock across the face. We've done it. You're lying, you know? And usually we do it to the people that are closest to us. That's the scary part. We would never in a million years. I'm nicer to bums than I was nicer to my baby mama. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've been sitting here still and quiet, and only till in the situation, under the duress, during that emotion, did I act that way. How many outbursts have I had since then? There's been another one. I had to put a dude in a headlock, a meth head in a headlock at my festival. That's the last time I've physically assaulted somebody. But rest assured, I pretty much get into a physical confrontation every year of my life, and I didn't know why. I just thought people were fucking with me. And maybe because I'm 5'7" and a little bit shorter and don't like to be treated as a subservient, less than kind of person, I stick up for myself. I didn't know that you couldn't not swing on people because I grew up in an abusive environment. If somebody were, I don't know, 8 years old, I remember tackling a kid because he fucked with my brother and kind of beating on him in the backyard. I started young. You know, I started learning young. I started absorbing my patterns young, and so have you. And that is such a aha moment in all of our heads and go, really, is that why I'm like that? Because most of us are like, oh, I can show up on time. I know how to take showers. I know how to go to work. But do we know how to go to work up in here? That's the biggest thing. Nobody wants to do. The thing we want you to do is earn more money, go to more work, work longer hours, but internal work, in energy, right? Into me, I see, right? That intimacy of ourselves, that doesn't ever get a break, right? Like you could have something going on in your world and someone say, yeah, well, you got to go back to work. You're like, yo, I got to go talk to my kid. They're getting kicked out of school, blah, blah, blah. No, you don't get no off time. How many people do that where they get no free time to be themselves and their job tries controlling them? Now, the third of your life, the one that you can't do nothing about, the 8 hours of sleep, and the other one, the 8 hours of work, that only leaves you another third of your life. 2/3 of your life is gone. A third of your life to live. And that's why it's so important. I was just like, wow, man, this is transformational. Like these moments I have for me to learn from my mistakes are huge, right? Yeah, I made mistakes, but I'm learning from them. My ex, she didn't even give me a shot to learn. She didn't believe in me that I could be different, that I could work on my mistakes. And that's all I've done since it happened. Studied hours after hours. I mean, days after days, months after months of just studying. Why did I act the way that I acted? Why do I get blackout angry? What happens to me where someone else can snap their fingers and I can't see? Why am I so easily hypnotized? Why am I so stigmatized? What happened to me that I'm covering up and I'm walking as a healthy adult, owns his own business, does his own thing at his own time? Like I live in that world, right? Well, guess what? So do you. You know, you live in your own world between your ears. This gray matter concerns us all. It's the way we process things. We're all a bunch of fucking computers. And I don't know if you're on 5G, 4G, lo-fi, hi-fi. How do you talk to yourself? And that's no lie. That's the thing. You know, when we get inside of ourselves and we start going, okay, so, you know, what are you really made out of? You know, what makes me the way that I am? And that's, I think, the biggest discovery. You know, the discovery of self. They say, know thyself. Mount Olympus, to go to speak to the oracle, it said one phrase, know thyself, right above the wall. For us to really know what makes us tick and talk, we'll be on time. You know, fuck a TikTok. What makes you tick and talk? You know, what makes you get up and do things? Most of us do it out of fear. You know, I was doing it out of anger. I'll just be admitting it to you. It was so easy to lift heavier weights when I was angry. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck that bitch. 300-pound bench press. Fuck that bitch. 500-pound squats. Am I the only one that uses anger as the fuel? Instead of letting love being the coal that makes the train roll, won't you be my everlasting light? That's one of my favorite Black Keys songs, but I didn't let coal be the energy. I didn't let love be my energy. I let angst and anger and spite. It gets me up earlier. It makes me fight. I get a buzz off of it. It's an adrenaline rush. Yeah, let's grind. I'm so used to the grind, I didn't know how to shine. I forgot how to shine. I forgot to be peaceful and understanding and listening. Instead, I became controlling, dominating, and abusive. And it's happened multiple times in my life where I take control physically. Like I didn't just allow it to happen. Like I physically controlled someone. And, you know, it's the wrestling background. It's the abuse background. It's all the things that I learned growing up, and it's also my control. So it's like, Mark, you should have never had your hands on your baby mama. Mark, you should have never had your hands on your buddy's wife, who's now his ex-wife. I'm sure I had something to do with that. And, or on my siblings. You know, they talk about humility and how having siblings kind of keeps you humble and keeps you in check and teaches you how to, work the world, right? These are the first people before you go to school, you know, before you actually learn social interaction. You usually get it from your siblings, you know. Women learn how to manipulate men, and men learn how to manipulate women. We interact that way. You want something from your sister, you know that she's going to be a bitch. You want the remote control, probably shouldn't go over there, slap her in the face and take the remote control. That's probably not going to work, you know. We figure out how to work these things. And unfortunately, my siblings figured out a way to not work with me at all. They were just like, you are just too much energy. You've been too abusive for too long. I haven't talked to my sister in almost 20 years. My own flesh and blood stopped talking to me. We didn't have a fight. She didn't say anything. And in that kind of energy, thank you, big energy. Thank you, big energy. That kind of energy right there has railroaded our whole conversation. I don't know how she's growing up. You know what I'm saying? I have no clue what my sister's doing. Plastic pocket challenge. You know, I don't even know how she processed it. Like I said, my brother said he went to a psychologist. I'd like to know what he got out of it. He's so much better than me, taller than me, better looking than me, more disciplined than me. He never drank. He never did any drugs. He teaches at the school. I mean, fucking almost the perfect citizen. And I'm over here, tried every drug under the sun, Saints addiction, definitely the black sheep. Okay, I am the black sheep of the family. Okay, like, hi, nice to meet you. And I was just experimental. You know, I didn't want to be controlled. And what's really weird is someone that doesn't want to be controlled, wants to be free, travel the world, do things on my own time, start my own business, entrepreneur life. I wasn't built for a wife. I wasn't built for understanding. And when she was crying on my bed the first time, like we hooked up at my house, I was like, what is going on? Like, it was scary to me. I don't think she knew that she was scaring me, but it was scary to me that I had a person, an adult person that I just had sex with, start crying at the end of my bed. Now, mind you, I was talking about being homeless. I was pumped up. I think she just saw my energy and it intimidated her. And she's just like, I'm in love with this man. I just made love with this man. And now he's screaming at the top of his lungs talking about he has no empathy. And I'm like, you can't have it all, right? I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but they talk about it all the time. Look at this trash. What was it that you can't have all five, bitch? You know what I'm saying? God damn, all the plastic. Cap after cap. How do I always seem to find the water caps, but no water bottles? So, yeah, I mean, that's it right there. When I was just like, I just didn't realize what lack of control I had over my emotions. Let me say it slower. I didn't realize the lack of control I had over my emotions. And it was so emotional, like I almost didn't say it right just now, That thing where you're not just craving food, you're being emotional. That thing that you just didn't want to fight, you're feeling insecure. And that thing where I'm misidentifying my energy, that's not what's really happening, right? Because there's like us perceiving it. We're weird humans, man. We will see, not only are there two sides to every story, there's a third, and it's the third part is the one you didn't witness. The one that it's as real to them, their memory of the events. I don't know if you've ever been to jail or inside a courtroom, but, if you're a witness and you're swearing in, you're going to be in front of a jury saying, I swear it happened like this. Then you get off the stand, they get up on the stand and they said, nah, Your Honor, this is how it happened. And you're just like, how the fuck did you see it that way? We see things. Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson at the psychologist, he slaps the fucking coins down. What do you see? I see 3 circles. What do you see? I see 35 cents. Both of you are correct. All of us are correct. We are all processing it just the way we are seeing it. Doesn't mean you're wrong, right, wrong, or indifferent. It just means that there's an alternative reality there. Kind of like being blacked out drunk. It's still you, but now you're living in an ulterior world, a metaverse, if you will, that you see it happening like you want it to happen, right? We see through these lenses of perception. And the one that I wanted to have this morning for the morning motivation is to perceive ourselves growing and being better people. Here, I'm gonna get on this gym. I'm gonna show you my flex. I'm gonna get my morning motivation on, but to stretch out the demons, exercise the demons, and get my mind right, I'm gonna have to quit anger. It's that simple. And it's not that simple at the same time. So, I do these things every morning. I do these shows to learn myself and share the knowledge that I've been learning. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of hours I'd be putting in, processing audiobooks and listening to these people and learning a better way. And that's what Saints Addiction's all about. I say choose better habits, I'm going to have to find a better way. I'm going to have to learn from this mistake and shape my character better. It's not enough to just say, I did something. It's better to say I did something about it. And that's what I wanted people to learn this morning, is to take control of yourself. We can't control others, but we can control ourselves. We can control what we eat. We can control when we sleep. We can control how we act. And as long as we can stay focused and not stay emotional, I think we get a better track of making that be a reality. So on my heart from the start, it's your boy Marky Saint, Saints Addiction. And as always, Shigathon. That means goodbye, but not forever and finish. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. Do comment below. How do you handle your anger? How do you process what's happened to you in your past? I'm really quite curious. The more honest I get, the more honest reactions I get, and I can see those in the comment below. So go ahead, like, share, and subscribe. Get the hat, get the shirt. All proceeds go to Saints Giving. Every 22% to every purchase goes towards someone else, and that's just what we do over here at Saints Giving. Peace and love. I'll see you on the other side. I'm going to go hit these pull-ups. Ciao.